Salutations, beautiful people. Happy March 12th. I keep looking at the way that I label the shows, like so I can keep track of them. I date them. So the 3-12, I'm like, wow, we're getting close to 321. It's crazy. Time is flying. Anyway, we have a couple readings to do today. How about that? Oh, I like this one. From the inspirational calendar today, it says, be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. I think this is a skill. I think maybe some people have it naturally, but I think this is a skill that we can probably all improve on, or most people can improve on. I know I need to improve on it. And I really like that it's calling this out. I read a book on my last road trip called The Charisma Myth. And one of the examples in the book was about this politician. There was two different politicians that the lady interviewed or dealt with. And one was very egocentric and was all about him and what can he do and blah, blah, blah. And the other one was made the girl feel like she was the most important person in the room. And I think he was the one who won the election, if I remember the story right. And I think that's true. And I think that has to do with us improving our listening skills and removing our ego. At least that's the way I see it for me. I know I struggle in this culture of in GA and in recovery, we try to keep things to I am statements when we're sharing our experience, strength, and hope. And there's a balance between using our experience. And I know for me, a lot of times, and I probably shouldn't tell you this, but there are times that I specifically think about my share and how it will impact other people as opposed to maybe what's on my heart sometimes. Because I'm trying, like say it's somebody who just went back out or someone who's in denial or someone who just doesn't get the fact that they're in the turmoil that everybody else in the room has been through and are in different stages of recovering from. It's really important that we support them and help them feel important because they are important because we want them to live their best lives too. And sometimes there's a little bit of mindfulness to thinking about that. And I'm not telling you that to put that burden on you because it is a burden sometimes to really have to think about, what we say and how it will impact. But it works if you think about it. The other comparison I have is when you go on a job interview, and I can't remember what book I got this from, but it was another book. At any rate, you go on a job interview and the hiring manager does all the talking instead of asking to get to know you better. Let them talk. Listen like they are the most important person in the room, and chances are you're going to get hired. And I saw that a lot in corporate America, especially with these big old VPs. And, there was hardly enough room in the room to sit with their egos and your body and their body. Maybe that's just my experience. I don't mean to sound so jaded on it. Just had some interesting people come across my path. And as I sit here even saying this to you, it's reminding me that when we show up from a place of service and heart and trying to help other people, things will work themselves out and we'll have much better fulfillment and success and satisfaction and serenity and all the things than if we make things all about us for the sake of making them all about us. That would be having our attitude on. And again, I won't tell you I'm perfect at this. I'm a work in progress, don't you know? All right. What does our body, mind, and spirit book say today? Meister Eckhart says, what we plant in the soil of contemplation, we shall reap in the harvest of action. Oh, this is like, was it yesterday's thing about don't just talk? Don't just tell everybody your plan, take action. I wonder if it's going to be like that. Okay, here we go. We all know someone who always has a new plan of action when it comes to their life work, but never seems to do anything about it. Maybe we've been this way. In the past, we simply didn't have the tools to make the changes we dreamed about, so we probably didn't get very far. Now, if we are guilty of more talk than action, it helps us remember that all changes, even good ones, are uncomfortable at first. It's easier to talk about looking for work than actually pounding the pavement and facing rejection. It's easier to promise now and act later. In recovery, though, we're learning how to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. We're learning that reliance upon our higher power enables us to take reasonable risks. We're learning that making mistakes doesn't mean we are a mistake. And we're learning to trust our thoughts, our feelings, our instincts. When we are one with ourselves, we cannot go wrong. Our higher power won't let us. Now we can think about things and do them too. Today, help me act. Yes, this is kind of what I was talking about with that. I really need to, I think it was something about instead of talking, doing. And I was beating myself up, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when I was going through that Bobby Downer pissy pants attitude that I had that I'm not very proud of, but I have to recognize it so that I can avoid doing it in the future. Now, for me, this worked the other way. I've been talking, I've been dreaming, and things keep happening, and my belief system is causing me to pause. And then I get in my own way and I have these circles of thoughts like, oh my God, am I not going quick enough? Do I not have the results? So then that leads to me feeling like I'm not taking action because I'm taking action, but I'm spinning my wheels, which I guess would be a whole other subject. This ties into, I guess before I dig even deeper on this ties into the whole moving mountains thing, okay? So it's really important that we take action, but we also need to recognize that, and I might be just coaching myself here, we need to recognize that we need to give ourselves grace and we can't do everything all in one day. And we talk about balance in recovery and we talk about, forgiving ourselves and then practice and doing things. Like I'm always going to advocate that we practice and we do things and we be self-aware. And it's really important to me. And I think if you've been here for more than a minute, and especially in, last year in March and April when I was sorting through all my stuff, and you guys, whether you knew it or not at the time, I think I've shared this with you, but being accountable to you, showing up here every day and doing the things that I didn't want to do, but I believed are the right things to do are what got me through it. I had to walk the walk because I couldn't show up here and tell you that you need to do XYZ when I wasn't doing XYZ myself. And just recently, there was a day I didn't feel like going to a group, and I went to group and I was like, I don't want to be here. That's why I'm here. And it's something that we hear in the rooms. Well, at least that I've heard through my recovery journey in the rooms, is like when you don't want to go to a meeting is when you need to be in a meeting. And what ended up happening was my whole thought process and stuff shifted after going to this meeting. It was exactly what I needed to do when I was doing it. And it was extremely helpful. So even if you want to be selfish about it, doing the walk to try to figure it out instead of, oh yeah, I'm going to do such and such, but there's always later. It's so easy to put everything until later. All of a sudden, guys, it's later before we know it. And then we haven't taken action and we're missing out. Again, look at this selfishly. I'm fine with you looking at it selfishly, whatever motivates you. And it's not really selfishly, it's self-devoted. But if you want to have a happy, good life, you need to take care of yourself. You need to practice. You need to learn. You need to advocate for yourself. And you need to be okay with flubbing it up. because we're going to flub it up, guys. It's just part of it. We're going to flub it up. And that's where trust in your higher power, trust in your ability, trust in knowing that a life without gambling or addiction or whatever the thing is going to be better or has the potential to be better than you could ever imagine. You know, the Oscar statement of you can have a life beyond your wildest dreams is so freaking true. So true, but you definitely have to take action. You definitely have to walk the walk. And it's more important to walk the walk than to talk the talk. You're so lucky. I do both. And by talking the talk, it makes me have to walk the walk, even on the days I don't want to. So maybe that's a solution too. Maybe it's a sponsor. Maybe it's an accountability buddy. Maybe it's something that helps keep you motivated to walk the walk, even if you can't see the results that will happen because of that. Hopefully you trust me enough by now to know that it's true. I'm telling you it's true, and it can be everything you want. And it's really a mindset game, and it's a doing the work game, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. So I hope you take the opportunity to consider this and decide what is it that you want to take action on. Maybe it's insight from other people in the, your groups or your circle of friends, or from listening here. I don't know. I'm sure everybody out there has their own version of what their recovery looks like. At least that's what I hope, because that's part of the talk I talk, is I want you to find out what's comfortable for you so that you can have your best life. It doesn't have to be the Bobby way, but there are some factors that are important. So figure out what walking the walk looks like and what steps you want to take to make action. And then don't bite off more than you can chew. Remember that theme of moderation and balance. So start one piece at a time. You will be so freaking surprised in retrospect if you do this, of all the things that happen, all the amazing things that you probably never even dreamed were possible. That will happen if you do the work. Okay. Lecture over. I will be back tomorrow. Guys, I haven't asked you in a while, so if you don't mind, please leave me a rating or review if you are getting anything out of this, a little balance, a little food for thought, whatever. I appreciate it. And your feedback is always welcome, whether it's on a review or any of my social. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's questions you want answered. I mean, don't be scared to reach out to me. I'm happy to speak to any of you and all of you, whatever that looks like. All right, beautiful people. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So long.